Assalamualaikum, Miss. This is a group assignment for PAD 240. Monarchy is one form of government that is available to survive until today. The relevant example of an absolute monarchy presented by four of us, which is me, Sharifah Nisaiza binti Harun, ID 2019612964. Second, Rostina binti Rashdi 2019637394. Third, Siti Zaliha binti Madesa 2019808356. And last is Muhammad Nur Hafizan bin Syari 2019644254.
The introduction of system of government monarchy. The word monarchy come from the Latin word means monarch, means that one or single, arc, two rules, to combine is a rule of a chief. The term monarchy now usually refer to the traditional system of descent. A monarchy is a system of administration in which the king serves as a head of the state for the rest of his life or until he is released. The monarchy political legitimacy and authority can range from limited and mostly symbolic under a constitutional monarchy to fulfill autocracy or absolute monarchy, encompassing all executive, legislative, and judicial domain. Means that monarchy can control executive, legislative, and judicial domain. Until the 23rd century, monarchy was the most popular type of the government that all the country follow. Now there are 44 sovereign nations around the world, including 16 Commonwealth countries that have declared by Queen Elizabeth II for their head of state. Continue. There are also a number of sub-nation monarchy entities. Modern monarchy are more likely to be a constitutional monarchy, maintaining the unique legal and ceremonial role of a monarchy who with limited or unique political authority as head of the state in parliamentary republic under a constitutional. A monarchy is a political system involve a chain of hereditary rules, define a government rules by a bachelor such as a king or a queen. Means that a king or queen or head of state can make a rules and agree by the government. That indicates that in the event of the leader death, only a leader relative or descendant will be able to take power. If a king or queen dead, relative can take their power to take over their state. The president is the command-in-chief, followed by a vice president and secretary of state, and finally the cabinet member, much as in a democratic government. A monarchy, like other type of government, have the advantage and advantage. We can see it on the next slide. Next, the power of the system government monarchy. The king in an absolute monarchy is an authority who has a complete control over the state and government. The monarchy power is limited by the constitutional, and in a constitutional monarchy, political sovereignty is existed through a legislature. The constitutional monarchy political influence is limited.
The reason why monarchy is one form of government that can survive until today. First is there are 28 kings in 43 countries around the world today, including 70 sovereign territories ruled by British King. It is the equivalent of 22% of the 193 UN member states over a wide range of global regions. Third is King Aaron, the only ones who inherit power at will. Kingship is claimed to be the source of nobility, superiority, and unprecedented power, neither of which has a place in a modern democratic society. Monarchy have the authority to unite in a world where a big number of modern kings are born to post rather than born to rule. Their power once governed by the national constitution at their discretion, now guarded by the Prime Minister and Parliament. Lastly is pageant is political and lucrative with Frederick Jameson, predicting that postmodern society will be defined by the domination of email at the demise of the written word. In many ways, today's self-centered and brand-focused politics have justified this viewpoint. Absolute of monarchy. First, a government with sovereign leader in power through merit or descent, over which they have complete control without limitation from the constitution or law, considered head of state and head of government. Lastly is absolutism in itself can be described in much the same way as an absolute monarchy, where the individual in power has absolute power in the absence of legislation, election, or other confrontation against that power. An absolute of monarchy. The advantage of an absolute monarchy. First, it allows for faster discretion to be made. The king has power over the land and its people. This makes lawmaking easier. In a monarchy, absolutely, there is one only person who can make a decision. At last, advantage is allow for long-term goal designed and achieved by the king to rule for life. At the disadvantages of an absolute monarchy is it does not involve a democratic process. Once the king decides, that's all. Second is this raise the advantage of reign. And lastly, it involves leaders who are not elected by the people. The king reaches his position by inheriting.
The example of country that using the system of government and absolute monarchy. Brunei Darussalam, a small country rich in oil and gas resources located in the northern parts of the island of Brunei. Surrounded by Malaysia, with two parts of Brunei separate on the mainland by Malaysia, namely the Limbang Division. Brunei is a country that runs a system of absolute monarchy and adopts the English legal system, although Islamic Sharia law supersedes that law in a number of matters and cases. The political system in Brunei prescribed by the constitution and based on the concept of Malay system monarchy. The three components of MIB is the Malay culture, religion, and political system under the monarchy. Sultan Hassan al-Bolkiah, whose title was passed down in the same dynasty since the 5th century, is the head of state and head of government of Brunei today. He was advised by several councils and a cabinet of ministers, although he was effectively the supreme ruler. This parliament has no power other than to advise the Sultan due to the absolute rule by the Sultan. Brunei is one of the most politically stable countries in Asia, and implementable policy should be taken. The example of country that using the system of government and absolute monarchy. Saudi Arabia. Kingdom of Saudi Arabia is a country that has high petroleum reserve. Saudi Arabia also has a unique site in global politics configuration. This country also known as the Center for Islamic Civilization and Islamic Religion. Saudi Arabia still maintains the absolute monarchy as the fundamental foundation of state and government system. The kingdom is completely controlled by the kings as well royal family. The very oligarchic characteristic of the Saudi Arabian government can be seen from the composition of the cabinet in the government, which is identical to the royal family. With the absoluteness of this monarchy, it made the kingdom very rich, and sometimes it was inversely proportional to the condition of its people. The very high welfare of the royal family makes social conditions in Saudi Arabia not run normally.
The example of countries that using the system of government and absolute monarchy. Vatican City. Despite its diminutive size, the Vatican is the world's smallest city-state and state. The city is ruled by a monarchy. This indicates that the governing king has complete authorities over his subject, with no restriction imposed by law, legislation, or custom. The Vatican, on the other hand, is the absolute monarchy of choice, since Catholics priests must take a celibate pagan in order to become Pope, who is religiously the leader of the Catholic Church and the Bishop of Romans, exercise supreme legislative, administrative, and judicial powers only over the Vatican City, a separate entirely from the Holy See. The Vatican City State, for its part, is recognized as an sovereign territory under international law. Conclusion. Monarchy is well suited to this form of leadership or governance, which will be supported by a large number of people. But we cannot deny that some people dislike it. Brunei, Saudi Arabia, and Vatican City are three countries that still have monarchy. Modern monarchy are nevertheless counted for in a variety of ways. The media pays close attention to them. Support for the monarchy remains strong in all countries, with survey surely that between 60 and 80% of people want to defend it. Individual monarchy can be made to resign, and the constitution support can be put to the test in a referendum. Monarchy may be the polar opposite of democratic or responsible institution, yet its survival ultimately rests on the people's continuing support. Thank you. This is our presentation. Thank you.